Okay, hello everybody. Hello, and welcome back. That's right, guys. After my day off, well-deserved day off after 8 straight days of constant streaming, I returned for what hopefully will line up to be a pretty epic week here, guys. Today is Sunday, April 22nd, 2018. Hello, everybody. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope that you are excited for what is to come today. I certainly am. Especially because if you've been following along everything going on with my playthroughs and everything, you now know what's happening. So, I played God of War all day long on Friday. I actually stayed up late Thursday night to play the special release night stream. And then I played God of War all day long on Friday. So, 8.5 hours approximately of God of War I played within the first day. Now, there's good news and bad news. The good news is, I saw on YouTube the videos are doing pretty good, especially for a game that's only been out for about a day. And I put out 8+ hours of gameplay, which I almost would never do on a typical launch day, maybe 4 to 6 hours. So I certainly put out a ton of videos on the game right away. And in addition to that, after the initial swoop of content ID nonsense that I had early on in the playthrough, it seems to have cleared up. I'm not really getting content ID issues or matches anymore on the playthrough, which is very good. Because now I think I can just continue on with God of War and not have to be stressed out about it constantly. Oh God, am I going to upload this batch of gameplay and then these videos are all going to, be content ID matched and I have to worry about removing music or editing videos or whatever. Doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. All right. So that's definitely a good thing. And by the way, in the first 8.5 hours of gameplay of God of War, I really enjoyed the game. It's grown on me. In fact, I thought it started out strong. Then it kind of got a little stale with the combat kind of not being so good. But then I unlocked a bunch of new abilities that have now, in my opinion, refreshed the combat and made it a lot more badass than the first couple of hours. And I really like it now. We ended off in Alfheim, which is the elven part of Norse mythology. And I finished up that plot line with some pretty badass combat, chopping enemies in half and beheading them and stuff. Pretty brutal, but also pretty entertaining. So I've had a lot of fun with it. And, been having basically just a really good time with it, all right? So Friday was great. However, real talk here, the streams didn't do so good. I mean, my first stream, I think the most I had was 500-600 people, and then it went way down after the course of the stream kept going. And then my second stream, I barely had 300 people. And a lot of people questioned that and said, well, I don't understand. When Phil plays Street Fighter or Bloodborne or even Call of Duty or honestly any of the other games that he's played recently, his attendance has been way higher. Why is Phil's attendance so low on Friday's big premiere for God of War? Don't really understand why that would be. All right. Well, I have an answer. And I talked about it on Friday for those who were actually here, but I might as well, bring it up again. This is a game. All right. This is a game that, quite frankly, so many people have been anticipating. Number one, because a lot of people just have a lot of love for the God of War series. And it's been 8 freaking years since God of War 3. Now, God of War Ascension, was it technically a God of War game? Yes, but it sadly was not as well received as the original 3 God of War games. A lot of people like to write it off and say, man, it's a shitty prequel, don't even count it. So it's been the greater part of 8 years since a God of War game is released. We've all been anticipating this game for like a year and a half since it was announced at E3 2016. And so many people, no exaggeration, told me that they would actually be skipping my streams on purpose. Because like me, they're normal gamers. They didn't get the game ahead of time, right? They didn't freaking get a pre-release copy that they could play a week early and fucking have a full YouTube playthrough up already. They're just like me. They're going to get it on Friday or Saturday, depending on when it's available in their territory. Some people couldn't get it till Saturday. And then they're going to play the game themselves. All right. Play the game themselves. And then they're going to come and check out my playthrough afterward. And in reality, I actually think that's why, in this case, my God of War playthrough has been doing so much better on YouTube than on Twitch. I think what a lot of people did is they went and played the game for themselves on Friday. They missed out on the live streams because they were busy playing it all day, all right? And then they went and watched my videos afterward to see, gee, how did Phil do in the game? Because they didn't want to spoil themselves, right? And I totally understand that. This is one of those rare situations where so many people will be playing the game that it's, you know, basically a non-spoiler situation. Now, listen, guys, before I became a full-time live streamer, all right, that would have been perfect because that's exactly what I was looking for, right? I was always looking for, gee, just watch the videos on YouTube. Streaming is just fan service. I don't make any money doing it, right? Now, it's the complete opposite. It's more like, okay, streaming is my main focus. I make more money on streaming than anything else. And, you know, YouTube is kind of the back burner thing, even though it does still make me a significant amount of money. You know, I'd rather focus on putting out entertaining streams for you guys. All right. So, this is kind of interesting because, no lie, this is the first situation where it's such a hyped game, such an incredibly, you know, really mainstream game that a ton of my viewership is going to be playing themselves, that they don't want to be spoiled on the game in general. And so they're going to just play it themselves and watch my playthrough afterward, you know. And let me tell you this, just no exaggeration, guys. My viewership on DSPGaming doubled on Friday. Doubled. Double what I normally get. So that just proves that everyone's watching the playthrough on DSPGaming. All right. I don't know about Saturday yet or anything. I won't know till like either later today or tomorrow because that's how YouTube analytics work. They stagger 1 to 2 days. So I'm sure probably Saturday was huge because so many people played it on Friday and then probably went to watch the playthrough afterward. So it almost guaranteed that the views went up, spiked. Okay. So that being said, all that being said, we're back today, folks. It's Sunday, and the good news is I was not here yesterday. I was off for a day off, right? First day off in 8 days. Many people who are playing this game more than likely played it all day yesterday as well, and they're way ahead of me. Anywhere from 6 to 12 hours ahead of me, more than likely on average. So most people probably are 2-3 worlds ahead of me, and therefore, I get the feeling that they're hopefully over the course of this week we will actually see a build. All right, a build in how many people are coming out and checking out the God of War streams this week. Because the bottom line is, guys, this is the main game right now. This is the one I'm excited for and I'm focusing on. I'll be playing it all week. Today, tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday, I'm switching it up and playing it at night instead of during the daytime. Friday, I'm going to keep going. And from what everyone said, if you do all the side content, the game's super long. So this could end up being the main stream, for a couple of weeks here. All right. Now, this being said, guys, just so you know, all right, I certainly hope that those of you who are here, all right, number one, enjoy yourselves, and number two, will, be supportive in any way that you can, and that's not just meaning the live streams, but in particular, you guys know we already hit our our sub goal for this month, so, pledging to my Patreon so you can be part of the Patron's Choice event and stuff like that. Reason being, there's always a giant boost to YouTube views for big releases at launch. But much like everything else, being that this game is so long, it's going to taper off. All right? It's going to. I know it is. Right now I'm enjoying a nice big, double dose of views on YouTube, which is great. But within probably 3 to 4 days, it's going to taper off like it always does. So, that's why I'm hoping that the viewership will then come over here to Twitch and just hang out with me like you guys normally do on a normal day. I'm going to be honest with you guys, all right? Friday was one of the slowest streaming days I've ever had in my life since I started doing this full-time over a year ago. And that's no exaggeration. And I don't mean viewership, I just mean in general. Everything that happens typically during a stream was very slow. Now, that's okay for a couple days here, but what I'm hoping is that eventually it's going to flip. Like I said, the views on YouTube are probably going to go slow down, and then things are going to pick up here on stream. I hope. Because if it doesn't, I really seriously don't know what I'm going to do. This is the big release for a couple of weeks. And certainly, I can't just not have anything going on for a couple of weeks, As you guys know, even though I do enjoy gaming for a living, all right, and, this kind of stuff, I sadly do need to pay my bills. I sadly do need to have, live up to my responsibilities in the real world. And just because a big high-profile game comes out everyone wants to play it. And basically everyone who wanted to spoil themselves on the game did ages ago. All right. And it seems like everyone just wants to jump on one of these giant hyped streams of ridiculous amounts of viewers, of the big guys on Twitch, to feel like more that they're a mob crowd mentality of, oh, we're experiencing the game as a mob, versus coming and checking out my stuff. All right. It's fine. I get that. But what I'm hoping is people will eventually come around and realize that once they're way ahead of me, there are no spoilers on this stream. Okay. I hope, we're going to see how it goes. If I absolutely have to, let's say midway through this week, change things up, because I've played God of War for 3-4 days and we're not getting a lot of attention on the streams, then I'll have to change things up. I don't know what else to say. If it means that I have to interject other content, like go back to Bloodborne every once in a while, or have a Street Fighter stream, you know what I mean? A session of PUBG, then I guess we'll do it. But I've got to do what I've got to do. What I would love to do, quite frankly, is play this, for about 1 to 2 weeks till I wrap it up and just have a really awesome immersive experience in God of War. But I don't know if that's going to pan out. It just seems like, in a lot of cases, what I think is going to happen with my viewership doesn't happen, and then sometimes it does the opposite. Like, I'll be honest, sometimes I do something that I don't think is going to be very successful, and it gets way better than I thought it was, attention-wise. And then, sometimes it's the complete opposite. All right. So, I don't even know, what else to say. I am enjoying the game. I'm going to, do my best in it to enjoy it. If you guys don't realize, one of the major things people were complaining about on Friday is the combat's boring and repetitive. It's not anymore. I unlocked a bunch of new abilities. The ability to swing the axe, have it do multiple hits, and these new runes that are really cool looking and also very effective in battle. The ability to insta-kill any enemy if I charge my axe. And Atreus has been becoming very much more helpful. He's been jumping in and stunning enemies and doing fun stuff for me. So it's gotten a lot better. All right. And so in that regard, there's no excuse. The game isn't boring. The story's good. The combat's fun and entertaining. All right? Because I saw some people on Friday trying to make excuses or criticize the game that were just bullshit. These are the people who are just naysaying because the game is the biggest game right now. And in particular, there's a lot of Xbox-only owners who are pretty angry that they can't play the game. So they're, talking shit about the game just to talk shit rather than actually say something that's fucking reality. The bottom line is the game is great. All right? Everything that I've seen in the game so far, the game is getting better and better. And I'm really excited about, getting more and more and more into it over the course of this week. All right? See, and here we go. But you just spam one type of move. But I don't. If you actually watched the stream on Friday, you would see that happen maybe for about an hour. And then after that, I unlocked better abilities and the combat changed. But all people want to talk about is how for 1 hour, all I did was throw the axe. Because you're one-trick ponies. You're parrots. And you just repeat what other negative people say in order to fucking try to get your point across and make me look bad instead of the reality of what it was. I played the game for 8.5 hours. And the axe throw was basically prominent for about an hour to an hour and a half. And by the time at the end of the stream on Friday, the combat had dramatically changed and became very visceral and in your face and a lot of fun. So what you're saying is completely invalid. So please, just keep repeating yourselves over and over ad nauseum and making yourselves look stupid in the stream chat. Because, then we can definitely tell who the actual people who watched were and who the parroting negative idiots are. So go right ahead and keep saying that. Stupid idiots. All right. So anyway, guys. All right. Anyway. Thank you guys for being here for basically day 2. This really is just the start of day 2 of God of War. We've got quite a lot more to go here. All right. And so we'll see how today goes and, play it by ear. Like I said, what I'm hoping is that this week things pick up with the God of War streams, and if they do, then great. Then smooth sailing. I'll keep playing God of War as the featured thing until, we basically beat the game. But if it stays slow, then sadly I'm going to have to switch it up. I don't know what else to say, guys. It's just a reality of the situation. I need to keep doing things that are going to not only entertain me and you, but also are going to pay the bills. And if everyone else has decided they're going to watch someone else play God of War, or they're just going to play the game offline for themselves and watch my YouTube videos later, that's cool. But then that means that I do have to switch up stuff with streaming, you know. So real talk, we'll see how this week goes. This is not naysaying or being negative. I'm just saying we have to see what happens. I was hoping that today maybe we'll get a spike in views, and then as the week progresses, the views will keep going up as more people have gotten further than me. Some people already said they beat the game already. They only focused on the story and they beat it already, and then they're going to go back and do the side content afterward. And if that's the case, great. Hopefully now you guys could jump on the streams and enjoy yourselves rather than worrying about spoilers, right? Okay. All right, guys. So, that's really it. Yesterday I had a day off. And once again, as usual, during my day off, it was incredibly, I don't even know how to say, just very, very, not necessarily strenuous, but a lot of stuff to do in one day. You know, when I only take a day off once a week, in this case, it was 8 days. So not only did I have to go grocery shopping, but there was a lot of other stuff going on. Oh man, we need this thing for, you know, the house would be useful. And so there was a lot of kind of running around, you know, for stuff. And it was a fun day, but it was, again, a day when I'm hoping eventually, rather than just running around every day I have off, which actually tires me out, maybe one day I'll just be able to fucking relax, you know? It's my day off. I'm just going to sit back and relax and not be all stressed out and having to drive a million places and do a million things in one day. In fact, I already talked to Kat about it, and I said, I think we should do this next week. You know, at this point, I look forward to my days off, but then my days off are so fucking tiring. You know, a day off from work shouldn't mean that you're up at 9 in the morning, you're out all day, you arrive home at 9:30 at night, and you're dead tired. Like, what kind of a day off was that? You know? And that's what's been happening recently. So, I think next week we're going to do it a little bit differently. We're going to try to do more laid-back stuff. And hopefully, or at least if we're going to do stuff that's out, have a mix. Okay. Some of the day I'm out doing stuff, but then I get to come home and just relax for a bit, you know? So we'll see how it goes. But, you know, it is what it is. Alex Master says, on those days off, you should also unplug social media. I do a lot. Like, I'll be honest, on a normal day, I check social media way more than I do on my day off. Although, you know, there's still times when I do have to kind of check stuff. You know, it sucks, but it is what it is. When you have an online business like I do, you always have to keep your eyes open. I mean, what would happen if a bunch of YouTube videos turned into copyright claims that I had to handle? Or what if something happens with Twitch? Or, you know what I mean? I've got other things that go on, to, you know, Teespring and the like. So I always got to keep my eyes peeled on my phone kind of no matter what. It would be nice to have, like, a week where I just don't have to look at any shit. But, you know, I guess that's a pipe dream at this point. All right. So, guys, that's really it. Here's the deal. Let me very quickly go through the schedule for you guys for this week so you guys know what's going on. All right. Today, God of War. Roughly 4 hours. All right, roughly. And when I say that, I mean there may be some more than that. You know, as you guys know, it depends on when I start. Tonight, no second stream because tonight I'm doing the weekend preview. I've also got a bunch of bills and stuff I've got to pay. You know, Sunday night's typically the night when I take the time to do the boring stuff of real life that I don't really need to share with you guys because it's fucking boring. Okay, but I need time to do it. It's usually Sunday night's the time that I do it. Tomorrow, Monday, we resume with double streaming days. It'll be God of War paired with Yakuza 6. And the good news is, Yakuza 6, for those of you who tuned into it last week, it did pick up in a huge way on Wednesday night. The thing was, the first hour and a half was so boring because it was all backstory and cutscenes. And finally, the game opened up in the last 20 minutes to finally be the game that it's supposed to be. But it took so long to get to that it was very, very boring, no lie. But I know that once Yakuza picks up and ends up being a fun open world game with tons of side content and the like, it ends up being a far better game. So, Yakuza 6, you know, Monday night should be a lot of fun. Alright, so, it will be God of War balanced with Yakuza 6 Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Alright, Thursday, we're flipping this, okay? And it's going to be Ask the King is going to be my main stream. So, FYI, guys, being that Ask the King is my Q&A show, please head over to the kingofhate.com forums and post up your questions for this show as soon as you can. The more questions that I get, the better Ask the King is. All right, it's a better show, and every 2 months I do an episode. People really enjoy the show, so I hope you'll post up your questions. All right, that's going to be the main stream on Thursday, and then Thursday night will be God of War for 2 hours. All right, and then Friday I'm going to leave up in the air because I think what I really want to do at that point is assess how's everything going. Did the God of War streams pick up for the week? You know what I mean? How is stuff going? Or did it really still remain slow? And now here I am, a full week of God of War and nothing really happened. Because honestly, if that's the case, what I may do is this weekend do more variety content. So maybe Friday I'll do Bloodborne, right? Instead of God of War to break it up. And Saturday is going to be my day off. And then maybe Sunday I'll do Street Fighter. And so that'll give me a few days away from God of War before I resume God of War, maybe that Monday. All right. So that's what I'm thinking. We'll see how it goes. All right. We'll see. I know. What I am honestly hoping for is that the God of War streams do pick up and we get more people checking them out. And, as people progress through the game and start to get further than me and beat the game and want to come join me and see my experience live, I hope that's what's going to happen. All right. I hope. It would really suck if here I am playing one of the best games of the year and people are they just want to stay away from the streams no matter what. Again, it wouldn't matter if people just kept checking out the YouTube videos, but what I've seen historically is that typically the first 2 to 3 sessions of any long-standing game, a game that's really long, get, really good viewership, and then after that, it tapers off huge. So I guess we'll find out. All right. All right, guys. I guess that's really all I have to say for the news and the like. So what I'll do now, we'll go into our plugs segment. Okay. And then we'll do some shout outs for people who've cheered, subbed, and tipped here during the pre-stream. Sound good? All right, guys. So thank you guys very much for everything, for the viewership on streams, for watching my videos on YouTube, for all the support you guys lend me in various ways. I am very much appreciative for that. All right. That being said, if you'd like to go above and beyond just being a standard stream viewer or video watcher, and you'd like to contribute in other ways, there are many ways that you can help me to keep doing this full time. So allow me to explain some of those ways. The first being Patreon. As I've already mentioned, all right. As I already mentioned, sorry. This month, we already hit the subscriber goal for the month of April here. We hit 450 subs. That means the Patron's Choice playthrough is returning. So if you pledge $5 or more to my Patreon, you're guaranteed to be able to nominate and vote on a game, all right, that's going to be the Patron's Choice playthrough coming up. All right, so check it out over at patreon.com/darksidephil. I mean, Patron's Choice is the big thing for this month, and there are still 8 days to pledge to my Patreon by the end of this month. By the way, shout out to the 2 people who did pledge to my Patreon while I was off. Thank you guys for the contributions. It's not just about Patron's Choice, though. Depending on what you pledge to my Patreon determines the perk levels that you get back. So, for example, you can get text or verbal thank yous in my videos. You can get your questions answered for sure on my Ask the King show live. Or you could get a private Q&A video made. You get premium forum access to my forums. These are all perks that you can get as a result of your pledges to my Patreon, all right? And I'm going to say thank you to everyone who has pledged in the past and anyone who's thinking of pledging in the future. So, thank you. And, please considering the Patron's Choice is coming up shortly here, in May, people are going to start nominating and voting right away, okay? So that's number 1, guys. Number 2, there's my Teespring shop, as you guys know. All kinds of fun merch, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, mugs, stickers, and the like, all with fun logos and designs made by my viewers and fans. Excellent quality stuff. Please give it a look, and anything that you buy from my Teespring shop, I get a commission from, and it helps me out. You can check it out over at teespring.com/stores/DSPGaming. All right. And then, guys, last but not least, for those of you who are watching live on stream here today, and you would like a shout out during the stream, maybe something epic is going on, or you just want to tell a funny joke, or you have a comment to say, or you got a quick question for me, whatever you want to do. All right. There's 3 ways you can get a shout out on the stream. Number 1 is to cheer with bits. Number 2 is to subscribe to the channel. And number 3 is to tip me just to tip me in general. Boy, did I almost screw that up. So if you do any of those things, I'm going to give you a verbal shout out on the stream. All right. In fact, I'm going to be doing shout outs in just a moment here for those who have done those things on the pre-stream. However, please keep in mind there's a couple criteria. Number 1, please keep it concise, meaning as short as possible, as short-winded, as little words as possible. Do not post up a paragraph. Do not do multiple, ridiculous amount of sentences. The bottom line is I'm doing a gameplay stream, and even though it's fun to do shout-outs, it's not fun if the entire stream has to pause for 5 minutes for you to read your message and then try to respond. That's not what we're going for. If you have giant questions for me, Ask the King is coming up this Thursday. That's what the show is for. So please save those giant long-winded questions for Ask the King. All right? That's number 1. Number 2, please try to keep it positive. Please try to keep it on topic. I understand there may be some people who have random questions you want to ask, and or some people may have some comments or funny jokes. That's all cool, but please, no negativity, no insults, no bringing up people who have said nasty stuff about me, no political or religious questions. We're trying to do a gameplay stream here. We're not trying to have a big dissertation on everything I've ever believed about stuff. You see what I mean? So that being said, please be considerate of that. I am trying to keep a stream moving and entertaining, and having to completely derail what's going on in order to answer a ginormous off-topic question is probably not a good idea. And also, saying things that are negative or insulting to other people also probably are not going to get a shout-out. So it's at my discretion whether I give the shout-out. However, in general, I'd say about 95% of the time, people who cheer, sub, or tip are very happy because they get their shout-outs, and, we all have a good time. So it's not a big deal, quite frankly. All right. All right. Now, if you guys would also like a visual thank you, an animation to play for your contributions, so now you get a visual on-screen thank you acknowledgement, as well as the verbal one that I'm going to give you in the shout-out. All right. There's 3 ways for you to do that. You can either cheer 50 bits or more. You can subscribe to the channel and click the share button afterward. Or you could tip me $5 or more. And if you do any of those things, you'll get a big, nice animation designed by longtime viewer, fan, and chat moderator Popsicolo. All right. So certainly, I enjoy those. I think that they're very well done. And, if you would like both the visual and verbal, recognition, I'd be more than happy to give it to you on stream. All right. 2 final things. All right. 2 final things, guys. And then we will get started. First of all, guys, we are doing a big subs drive today. A subs drive. We're trying to get up to 475 subscribers here on the channel. FYI, I believe we're at 449. Let me check here. 449, yes. So, the good news is, typically when I take a day off, subscribers drop dramatically. This was not the case yesterday for whatever reason. We were up to around roughly 460 when I went on break, and now we come back. I'm only dropped by like 10 or 11. That's not bad. So that's a good thing. We're only 26 subscribers away from hitting the tier 2 goal for the month, 475 subs. All right. So what is the tier 2 goal? Well, if we hit the tier 2 goal, I'm going to be doing a funny video for you guys, kind of one of the parody episodes of DSP Tries It, where I try out a silly product. I did one of these back in January with the Wax Vac earwax removal tool, as well as some fidget spinners. And people thought it was one of the best videos I did in a long time. So I said, you know what? If we hit this goal again, I'll go out of my way and research and find a fun product, and I'll do another similar video. All right. So that being said, it could be great, depending on how it goes. I've been looking around for something. Yesterday when I was out, I looked around for a few things. Didn't really find anything in particular too great. However, in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be going to a store that has a ton of this kind of stuff. So I get the feeling I'm going to find a few pretty funny things to try out for DSP Tries It coming up soon. All right. So that being said, guys, a great way to show your support would be to subscribe to the channel. Only 26 subs away from hitting the goal, which we could do shortly. If you subscribe, you get access to all of my chat emotes. You also will not have to watch advertisements if and when I run an ad break, which I typically do at least once a day, a big one. Or you also get access to the chat crown badge. When you first subscribe to my channel, you're a bronze crown. After 3 months of ongoing support, you're silver. Then it changes to gold for 6 months. And then you get some nice rubies on your crown at a year of support. So, really cool. And hopefully you guys will, especially with God of War going on all this week, Yakuza 6, all new stuff, you'll be tempted to subscribe and help out. All right. Last but not least, guys, you're wondering how to tip me, because I've mentioned subbing, I've mentioned cheering with bits. Both of those are done through Twitch. I've mentioned tipping, but if that's not done through Twitch and you may be confused on how to do it, well, there's two different ways. If you, number one, look below my live stream, if you're watching it right now, you may see a big grid of information, including a link to DSPGaming, my YouTube channel, as well as links to my personal website, thekingofhate.com. You'll see the stream rules there, which you definitely should read and understand. They're very important. But you'll also see a section that says tips. There's a picture of me posing with Pokemon there, and if you click anywhere around there, you'll take you to the tips page, where you can either leave an anonymous tip or your name in a message if you'd like that shout out during the course of today's stream. Now, in addition to that, guys, if you don't see any of that information, maybe you're looking around, oh, it's not here. I don't understand what you're talking about, Phil. That's probably because you're on a mobile device. Mobile devices won't display that grid of information. So instead, if you just type in !tip into the stream chat, boom, Nightbot will post up the link. You can click on the link. It'll take you straight to the page where you can leave a tip as well. So there you go. There's your explanation of how to do it. All right? All right, guys. So now it's time for shout-outs. It is time for shout-outs. And then we'll get started with gameplay. Sound good? So first off, I would like to personally thank a couple individuals who actually cheered during the course of the time when I was off yesterday. It's always nice that people keep me in mind when I'm not here live streaming. That's a pretty awesome feeling to know that people like what I do so much and support me so much that they want to see me be successful, even when I'm not here. All right, so shout out to Golden Colts, who did a 101-bit cheer, as well as Infinite 55, who did a 200-bit cheer yesterday. Thanks, guys. All right, and now, guys, for today's shout-outs, for those who have cheered, subbed, or tipped during the course of the pre-stream. We start off with the Liffysaurus, who did a 25-bit cheer and said, honestly, I think bringing back cheer leaderboards for this game would motivate people to participate. I know you probably don't want to do that for the game, but it would most likely help. I believe what a Liffysaurus is saying. If you guys remember, in fact, I just click on it. Now, this information is totally outdated, guys. All right? But this is the cheer leaderboard. And this is the leaderboard that I have basically for games that aren't new releases. If it's a multiplayer game like Street Fighter or Call of Duty, or if it's a game where I'm going to have a lot of opportunity to interact with people like PUBG, or for example, my recent Bloodborne Redemption run. I've already played the game, all right? There's no reason for me to not have something like this because I've already beaten the game. It's the second run. It's not like, oh, it's the first time we're seeing this narrative-based game and this would be distracting. It's not, okay? We've already seen the whole playthrough of the game. So that's why I have that up there. And by the way, yes, it does. I do believe it does motivate people to contribute during streams. That's why people have it up, all right? However, it should be said that when you're playing a brand new game, and I am of this mentality, all right, this belief system, that when you're doing a run of a brand new game, all right, and when you're doing it for the first time, and if you're someone who actually cares about games like me, it's one thing if you're a streamer and all you do is you're trying to fundraise constantly. That's not me. You guys know I do this fundraising segment, every stream. It's the plugs. I do it early on, every stream. And then as soon as I get the gameplay, that's it. You don't hear about it anymore, all right? A lot of streamers, it's just constantly hammering you with that stuff, all right? And I'm not all about that, all right? So when I'm playing a new game, I just want it to be about the new game. That's who I am, and that's what I want it to be. I've always been a person, the games come first, and everything else comes, success comes after. So that being said, excuse me. That being said, no, for God of War, you're absolutely right. I don't want to bring back, at all right? I don't want to bring back, this leaderboard, whatever you want to call it, because I think it would be too distracting. I think that it does take away from the game, all right? And I do think that to have this up during a first run of any narrative-style playthrough is a bad thing. keep in mind, there's going to be a lot of opportunities for me to have something like this up, you know, in the future. Like I said, it's coming up. There are going to be some games that I've already done first runs of that I'll be doing a second run. And when I go back to Bloodborne, this is going to come back. When I play Street Fighter, this is going to come back. But you're right. I do feel that, you know, not having it, sure, some people don't feel as motivated to maybe contribute because they're like, well, my name's not going to be on the screen constantly, you know. Another thing, and I'll be real with you, Aliphisaurus, I think a big thing that Twitch did that screwed everything up. I misclicked right there. Whoops. That was the wrong thing. There we go. I think one thing that Twitch did that was a big misstep that screwed everything up is they changed the cheering leaderboards in the stream chat. If you guys remember, the cheering leaderboards in the stream chat used to just be top cheerer for the day, and then it would like show you everyone else who's like second, third, or whatever, and whoever was the top cheerer would hold the spot, and then other people would try to overtake them. Instead, they replaced that with top cheerers for the week, and there's no way to change it. Like, I can't actually go back to the old style, which honestly I liked more. I think it motivated people more to cheer when you had top cheers for the day, because that's a much easier thing to overcome than a cumulative cheering goal for the week. Like, take a look right now. Right now, we got Mr. Swaggins in first, the very best 5 in second, Conan the Barbarian in third, right? But taking a look at this, all right, if someone's a newcomer, man, I'd like to maybe contribute today on Phil's stream. They're going to be more motivated if they say, wow, you know, only a few people have cheered today. I could actually become top cheerer. Versus, wow, it's now been 6 days, and the top cheerer has 8,000 bits. How in the hell am I going to overcome that in one day? I'm not, so now I'm not motivated to cheer anymore. You see what I mean? It seems to me that Twitch kind of made a misstep here when they changed the cheering leaderboards. I don't like the weekly leaderboard. I liked the old one. And sadly, there's no way for me to bring it back. Now, guys, if you're not aware, I have a plugin, a Twitch extension of leaderboards. So if you look, again, if you look below the stream and you're not on a mobile device, there's a plugin extension there that actually keeps track of daily cheering for each stream as well. So there is a way to see who the cheerleader is for the stream, etc. However, it's not as apparent as it used to be. It used to be right at the top of the stream chat. Instead, now you have to be on a certain type of viewing device and scroll down to another area to see it. So you see what I mean? It's a lot different. It's a lot, in my opinion, I do think it was a big misstep by Twitch when they changed these cheering leaderboards to be weekly only and not allowing the ability to go back to the old ones. So, Livysaurus, I do kind of agree with you. You know, just from history, from my doing it and also from other, you know, Twitch streamers, people who have these cheering leaderboards / whatever you want to call them, when they have those stats on the screen at all times, typically it does entice people to contribute more. However, as I said, I don't want to use that all the time, especially when I'm doing a first time run, an honest first time playthrough of a game that has narrative, and you know, you don't want to lose the immersion of playing the game, you know, because of this weird shit all over the screen. You know, I don't want to do that. All right, so let's see how it goes. I'm hoping I would never have to breed that and have that on every stream. Quite frankly, I don't want to. I like that I have some streams where it's more casual, laid back, and I can do it. And there's other streams where it's more serious. This is a serious first run playthrough, and I don't. So, there you go. That's why I'm not doing it. All right. Shout out to Woof Doof Wolf. Woof Doof Wolf. Who says, well, cheered and said, I want to know if you enjoyed my fan art. I'm the one who drew you as a bear. It was fun doing a piece for you, and I'm extremely proud of it. Well, I have not seen it yet, so apologies, woof doof woof. This morning, I literally woke up, you know, used the bathroom, washed up a little bit, went downstairs, spent some time with Kat, had a muffin, talked about what we're going to do today, and that was it. And then it was time to start getting set up for stream. So I really, besides my quick tweet saying, oh, you know, I'm setting up for God of War or whatever, I have not done anything else. I don't even know if you sent it via Twitter or if you posted it up on my forums, wherever you did it. I have no clue. So that being said, you know, sorry. I'm sure I'm eventually going to get to it and see it. Thank you, anyone who does make fan art. But apologies, I can't comment on it because I have not seen it yet. Okay, shout out to Murdoch, who did a 50-bit cheer and says, do you think that such a successful game which incorporates Sony and good gameplay can wake up other major publishers like Ubisoft or EA in regards to no one wants single-play experiences anymore? Listen, that whole no one wants single player experiences anymore is complete and utter bullshit. And by the way, I should tell you this, game makers know it. You want to know the reason why they're trying to push that down everyone's throat? Because they don't want to fucking put in the time, effort, and an incredible amount of money that it takes to make good games anymore. I hate to say it. They don't want to do 5 years of development, millions of dollars invested, hundreds of people employed to put out a great game. What they want to do, they want to make shovelware. They want to make, here's a game that's a cookie cutter game, take pieces of other games, slap them together, no originality, just grinding online cooperative gameplay, no story to really speak of, tons of bugs. Oh, don't worry, we'll finish the game later after you buy it. See what I mean? This is what they want. They want an easy game development cycle, low investment, low risk, high reward. That's what these companies want because they're money-grubbing scumbag companies. I don't even know what else to say. I mean, I think we can all agree these big game publishers over the years have proven that in a lot of cases, they don't care about what's best for their games or gamers. All they care about is the bottom line and what lines their pockets. So, oh my God, if they start saying, well, big AAA single-player experiences are great, then they actually have to put the time and effort into making those experiences, and people will become used to having those great experiences, all right? And once they do, now they're going to demand more from the games. How many times in the past 3 years have we had a boring, grinding, repetitive gameplay style game that they shoved down our throats and hyped as the best shit ever only because there was online co-op in it, But where's the story? But where's the robustness? Where's the variety of gameplay? Where's the reason to go back? Oh, none of those exist. Just play the game because we told you it's good, What the hell? But that's what we're getting now. In a lot of ways, we're losing out on this generation of games where it was all about having an epic, experience whenever you paid $60. Wow, I'm playing a game that's nothing like anything I played before. It's original, it's different, it's fun as hell, and it's something I'm going to remember. It's going to stick synonymous in my mind with a great game for a long time. Instead, it feels like every game you play is the same damn game. That's not good, guys. I don't think any game publisher or any bigwig of any game studio actually believes that single-player experiences are dead. That's what they're trying to propagate to get you to want the garbage that they're putting out. Okay? So there you have it. So, I call horseshit, and if anything, a game like God of War, at least from the 8.5 hours that I've played, is proving that there is a ginormous, huge market for this kind of game in the modern era. And anything that they say is just poppycock to sell their garbage that they put out on the shelf. Okay? All right, King Swaggins shared 100 bits. He says, under accessibility settings, there's now the ability to increase the size of the text. Well, good. Because that was my honestly, that was my one major complaint about the game is that the text was way too small. Trying to read the text, and even in the menus, trying to customize and stuff, upgrade. I'm like, oh my God, I'm squinting here to try to read what it says. Why the fuck? You know what it is? They assumed everyone was going to have like a 77-inch 4K TV or something when they played this game. I don't know what they were thinking. A lot of us still play on smaller TVs. A lot of people play on computer monitors, So good luck reading the ants on the screen. So that's good, and I'm definitely going to be taking advantage of that right away. Because that's been one of my major complaints of the game is the text was too damn small. All right. Shout out to AES 0411 who cheered and said, the problem is the recommended videos on YouTube spoil this game. Therefore, viewers are trying to avoid Twitch streams and YouTube in general so they won't be spoiled until they play the game. Well, AES, here's the thing. Number one, you're right. There's a huge group of people just like me who are normal gamers. We're not people who are rushing out to spoil the game weeks before the game's out. And we're also not people who are buying into the hype of someone's a big streamer, so their stream's better than everyone else's, right? Instead, just a common person, going to play the game, enjoy it at my own pace. And you're right. There's been ridiculous amounts of spoilers out there. Dude, I'm not even lying. Every boss fight was uploaded to YouTube a week and a half ago. It was already, the whole plot was exposed a week and a half ago, spoiled on YouTube. Now, the good news is, if you didn't look for that, mostly you probably didn't see it and you didn't get spoiled on it. But it's been out there for a million years. This is just a symptom of game publishers sending out review copies of games way too fucking early to people who don't deserve them and ruining their own games. And this happens with every major new release now because these game publishers are more interested about the bottom line and money than actually putting out a gameplay experience that people can have fun with and enjoy at its face value. So this is going to continue to happen as long as they have these underhanded practices of giving advanced copies to select individuals who they judge are like the elite of gaming and who should be able to spread the word about their games and kiss the game's butt. Why the hell do you think God of War has such a high rating right now on all the rating sites? More than likely it's because these people are kissing the game's butt because they feel special because they've been graced with getting the game early, right? That being said, I completely understand what you're saying, and I agree with you. That's why a lot of people said, I would not be on your streams on Friday, Phil. I don't want to be spoiled, but I'll start coming back later in the week once I'm further in the game, and I know your streams won't spoil me. So, I hear you. And I'm hoping, again, that more than likely what will happen is within the next day or two, a lot of people will begin to finish up their playthroughs of God of War, and so they'll start coming by my streams again. Because, I'll be honest, I'll be really honest. Friday, YouTube was great, but streaming was very disheartening. Like I said, it was actually one of the slowest streaming days I've had ever. In the last year and a half that I've been full-time live streaming, it was one of the slowest days I've ever had. So you're telling me that all the downtime games that I played, all of the multiplayer games that I played, you know, all those did better. Unbelievable, right? But that's the truth. God's honest truth. So let's see what happens moving forward. Real Aziria resubscribed to the channel for the 14th month in a row. Thank you for the resub, Real Aziria. And he said, Phil, I hope you and your girlfriend are doing good. Sorry that I'm late resubbing. I was sick, so I wasn't able to resub. Well, it's cool because Twitch is still saying that you made it in under the required amount of time to resub. So you still got the ongoing 14 months. So thank you very much for your support. Good to see you. Hopefully you're feeling better. Aussie Steve just cheered and said, have you ever thought about giving your fans a nickname? A lot of content creators, as PewDiePie and Tobuscus, do so. You already have a name for those who view your content negatively, so I think it's only fair we get one as well. As I've said many times, apparently, Aussie Steve, I guess you haven't been tuning into certain streams where I address this question. Quite frankly, I believe that giving a generalized name for a group of viewers or supporters is degrading to the person. The bottom line is, guys, I view all of you as independent, intellectual, intelligent individuals who have actively chosen to come on my streams, watch my stuff, and have fun with me. You know what I stand for. You know the kind of person I am. You enjoy either my personality or the way I play games or the rage or whatever. Whatever it may be. You like me for some reason. And you're here to have a good time. And that's all I care about. I don't need to create some kind of a weird mob mentality. All right, which is exactly what it is. It creates a cultish mob mentality that people need to now blindly support someone because they're part of a group. So I could call you the Philanthropists or the Philistines or the $5 Sub Club, or, you know, I could make up some dumb name, the Hate Army, right? I could make up some really silly name and go with it and propagate it and talk about it every stream and keep calling you guys that. And next thing you know, no lie, I know this would work because this is why these other streamers and YouTubers do it, because it works. The people who sadly are kind of weak-minded would say, oh, I'm now part of this online group and I feel special, so I got to support that guy. I got to watch every video. I got to send money. I got to buy product. I got to because I'm part of that group, right? And that's not what I want. I want you to watch what I do on a daily basis, to judge for yourself whether or not it's worthy of support, and if you think it's worthy of support, to support it, period. I don't need you to think you're part of a cult or a mob or this weird group of people who blindly now have to support everything I do, and it's part of your duty to daily come out and do it. You know what I mean? We're all very busy people. We all have lives. If you could come check out a stream of mine, great. If you can't, I understand. You can always catch up with the videos on YouTube, right? At your own leisure. That's why I do it the way that I do it. It's not about, oh, I have to do, you know, every single day I have to support Phil, and the day that I don't support Phil is a day that I failed because I was part of this, the bro army or whatever, and now I wasn't there for Phil. Get the fuck out of here, man. That shit is, in my opinion, that shit's sick. What that is, that's a streamer or a YouTuber who's literally creating a brainwashing style mentality to try to get more money. That's what that is. And I respect you guys enough, all right, that I don't need to degrade you and lump you in to a generic group, all right? You guys are all intelligent individuals, and you're all fun to have on the streams, And that's what I care about. I don't want to degrade you and start calling you a lump group, all right? And I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. So there you go, guys. All right, shout out to YOLO Dopper, who did 25-bit cheers. Did you guys eat out anywhere yesterday? Yeah, we went to just a local restaurant. It's like the best way to describe it would be it's American style, like homely, like for example, rotisserie chicken. Okay, breaded shrimp, that kind of stuff. That's the kind of stuff that they have. Nothing super expensive. At the same time, it's very good. Like, they give you, first thing you do when you sit down, they give you a nice loaf of, or not loaf, it's like a little mini loaf of bread that's fresh. You cut and eat. It's right out of the oven. You're like, oh man, this is good, right? So yeah, that's a place that we've eaten at a few times now. We really like, and we go back pretty much at least once every couple weeks because we like it so much. So there you go. Genetic Gamer did a 65-bit cheer and said, look here, look, listen. I guess Genetic Gamer likes to repeat and parrot mindless memes on the internet. I guess this is a meme from another streamer. That's what I'm hearing. Because I know I didn't say that stuff. So, whatever. For some reason, people have been parroting memes of other streamers on my streams lately. They go right over my head, so I don't know why they bother doing it. I guess, again, it's that internet mob mentality. If I just repeat something that everyone else is saying, we're in on the joke. And we're really cool because we're part of the in crowd. Just like if I was called a fucking part of the angry army or the fucking, low gangers. Wow, we're part of a mob. We're part of a group. We're included. It's stupid, folks. It really is. So if you wise up, don't do that stupid shit. I'm just saying. Shout out to Kate. Kate cheers a happy Sunday, Phil. Hope you're having a great Sunday. And also Avengers Infinity War hype. Yeah, I guess. I guess that later this week, Avengers Infinity War is coming out. I'm sure the rest of the world will be hyped. I will not, because I'm going to be working. I'm going to be working, and I, quite frankly, am not going to be seeing the movie. So, enjoy everyone who's going to get to see Infinity War this weekend. I would love to see the movie. I'll probably eventually see it when it's available on demand. As of now, I haven't even seen Thor Ragnarok yet. I think there were two. I didn't see Thor Ragnarok, and I haven't seen Black Panther. So, I guess I should see those movies before I even gear up to see Infinity Ward. Infinity Ward? Wow. Anyway, there you go. Shout out to Winter Wolfie. Winter Wolfie just resubbed for the third month in a row. It says, 3 months have gone by so quickly. Phil, thank you for streaming continuously. There was the one night when I was on the verge of doing something stupid, but I'm glad that I didn't. Thankfully, I caught one of your streams that helped me through the night, so thank you. Well, Winter Wolfie, hopefully, you feel better now. And, I'm happy to hear that my streams, have served a purpose for you. So there you go. It's funny that these kind of stream, me, 10 years, I've been putting gameplay out on the internet, on YouTube, and then on streaming. How many people have reached out to me and said, Phil, you don't even realize beyond just being a gameplay streamer, how nice, how nicely your videos and streams have helped out a lot of people in other ways. So there you go. All right. Some publisher just tip me $1. He said, if we keep giving out free pre-release review copies, eventually we might be able to kill off Let's Players doing full playthroughs of games, leaving only montage videos, and people will have no other choice but to buy our games to experience them. /devil. I really don't think that's the case. I don't think that it's game publishers attempting to stop Let's Plays on the internet. That is, listen, I'm not a conspiracy theorist like some people. I'm not going to come up with some zany thing. Oh, yes, the reason that game publishers gave out God of War, release copies 3 weeks to a month in advance to an elite group is to stop Let's Players. No, I don't think that at all. No way. What I do think is that they're greedy. And they thought, oh, we give it out early. Undoubtedly, these game reviewers are going to kiss our ass because we know our game is at least decent. And, and look what happened, Now, I'm not saying that God of War isn't a great game. It is. But an insane amount of people giving it 10s, Like I said earlier, guys, being that we haven't had a major AAA release with narrative focus in a long time, all right? The game was kind of in this position to be set up to get the review scores that the mainstream media gave it, only because when you've been playing grinding stuff like Monster Hunter, you know what I mean? and other stuff like that, those are the biggest releases in the past 6 to 8 months. Grinding style combat that really honestly doesn't appeal to a lot of mainstream gamers, except for hype where they buy into it. You know, this game was kind of set into a position to succeed. It's like some people are saying, this is a game that's like a reviewer's dream. They get to play it early. It's a long game, so they get a ton of experience about the game that they can relay in their review that people wouldn't know because no one else got to play it early, right? And it's got great graphics. It's got easily accessible gameplay. There's not, even though there is challenge, it's not that like, oh God, you really have to like Dark Souls play through a million times to progress. It's not. It's an accessible game with a great story, great graphics. It's a reviewer's dream. So give it to the reviewers early so the reviewers will kiss the game's butt and now everyone else will run out and want to buy the game. See, it's like the perfect storm. And I hate to say it, but you know, this game was set up to succeed because of the way that we do things, giving these games out early. I'm not saying the game doesn't deserve the accreditations that it's getting. I'm saying I hate the whole system. Why the fuck couldn't we all have gotten the game last Friday? We all played it together, right? And then collectively as a community, you know, we make a decision. The bottom line is all the major gaming news outlets would go out of business because no one would need them anymore. And the bottom line is no one needs them anymore. They're not needed. IGN, GameSpot, these websites don't need to exist. They serve no purpose. All they are advertising, you know, focus groups, really. When you think about it, this is where a lot of major gaming publishers or whatever throw their advertising revenue to advertisements on these websites, okay? But the bottom line is we now have an interactive, living community of gamers who, when games come out, we play them, we share those experiences live with people. You get live reviews as the game releases. You don't fucking need a professional news website to now have a review of the game early and play the game 3 weeks ahead of time. And then, by the way, leak the game to someone who shouldn't have it. And then they put a full playthrough of the fucking game on the internet 3 weeks early. It shouldn't happen. This is something that is a practice that should have happened in the 1990s when there was no internet and there was not enough time to get a review of a game, you know, in time for its release. We don't need that anymore. It's an outdated practice and it's meant to line people's pockets. It's all it is. There's no reason for these websites to exist. They serve no purpose. We have more skilled, more experienced, and more honest people who would be more than willing to give you an honest review of a game once they play it on release, rather than these fuckers who will just kiss ass and or pan a game dependent on ad revenue and the like. You know, it's bullshit. So, you know, I hate it. That's why I've never been part of this community. I've never been part of the YouTube community who gets paid to do stuff. I've never been part of the early access community where I beg and suck on game publishers to try to get early access games. I don't do it. You know, I could right now, no lie, guys, I could get early access to many games all the time. I don't play that game. I don't want to be. I don't think of myself any better than you. I think that I should be playing a game on release day just like you. That's how my philosophy has always been. So why am I going to change myself just to make a buck? You know, but that's what all these companies do. That's what I mean. IGN and GameSpot don't even need to exist anymore. The only reason they solely exist is because they still get this crazy preferential treatment. Pretty stupid. Pretty stupid, guys. All right. YOLO Dopper Charity says, cat health conscious, meaning she eats mostly organic food. First of all, YOLO Dopper, you notice everyone else on stream today is asking questions about the game and about myself. You got to go into a personal question about my girlfriend that has nothing to do with anything. Why is it any of your business what my girlfriend eats? No, I mean that. Why are you so nosy? And by the way, YOLO Dopper, if you haven't noticed, I know your questions recently have been getting more and more intrusive and or annoying. Mind your own fucking business. How about that? BattleDuck 9000 just did a $5 tip and said, more God of War, sweet, gimme, gimme, gimme. Thank you, BattleDuck 9000. That is the biggest tip for today, and I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Conan the Barbarian did a 50-bit cheer, and he said, good afternoon, Phil. Let's get this shit started. All right. All right, guys, and Murdoch just did a cheer. He says, to be honest, I don't know whether to get a game, or if I don't know whether to get a game or not. I use your streams as a reference. I haven't read a professional review in years. Well, there you go. See, you want to know why? Because Murdoch has something called self-control. Murdoch is not one of these, again, I hate to say it, these cult mentality people. I must buy a new release on release day to be part of the cultish experience of playing a new game on release day and being part of millions of people who are experiencing this all simultaneously. You know, it's really silly. In fact, a lot of these games, you buy them on release day. If they have a multiplayer component, it doesn't even work yet, right? But that's because Murdoch has what's called self-control. He doesn't feel the impulse to run out and buy every game at release and then, you know, playing it nonstop at release to just be part of this group. He doesn't buy into hype. That's the problem with gaming in general, is that we as gamers don't have this self-control. We must have a game on release day. Therefore, we must have a pre-release review to know if the game is good enough to buy for release day. How about instead of that, you wait one fucking day for people who do this for a living to buy the game and play it for you on stream so you can see what it is, and then you make your decision. Instead of just being a mindless cultish person who must run out and have everything on release day. You must line up for the new iPhone, you know? You must line up for the new console, and you must have the new game on release day. How about it's called self-control, you grow up? There you go. Aussie Steve cheered. He says, ever since I cheered you, I have people whisper me stupid things. Do I really need to hear things like DSP is a pig with a party hat, or DSP loves pineapple head when I'm just trying to watch the stream? Is this common for your supporters? Yes, it is. And honestly, I don't even know what the hell it means. I mean, just listening to what you're saying. What the fuck does that mean? Does anyone have any clue what that shit means? No, it's just stupid. Again, how many times on this pre-stream have I mentioned this mindless mob mentality? That's exactly what it is. Mindless mob mentality. Someone said this at some point and became a meme, and now everyone just repeats it ad nauseum. And then when they see someone who's going to either, you know, support me on stream, oh, I got to private message that person and spam them with this negative shit. Like, what? But most people don't even know what it means. So it's just a waste of time. So yeah, guys, if you are on my streams and you're being supportive and you notice that people are harassing you, it's very simple. You can block those people. You can turn off your PMs or DMs on Twitch, which, by the way, I did a long time ago. I realized they're completely worthless. Excuse me. Right? It's ridiculous. So, oh, by the way, also, if you do have people spamming you nonsense, report them to Twitch, so they'll get banned from the website, because it is against Twitch terms of service, and they don't deserve to be here, and they do need to be removed. So there you go. Darkside Viking cheered 50 bits. It says, IGN gets pretty negative rep, and rightfully so, because their content is really ill-informative and biased, to say the least. Yeah, that's what I mean. The days of the giant gaming media companies existing, they're 10 years outdated. The only reason they exist is because of their big conglomerates, and they bring in ad revenue. You know, these game companies want somewhere to advertise where they know thousands of people are going to go, so they pay IGN or GameSpot to run their ads, and then they give them the pre-release copies of games, so they'll have the exclusive early reviews so they can make money on the games. It's a ridiculously underhanded cycle. It needs to stop, because the bottom line is, ever since YouTube became popular 10 years ago, we don't need these companies at all. They could, IGN and GameSpot could go out of business overnight. Nothing would be lost. Zero. There'd be nothing lost at all. We'd still see coverage of all the new games. Nothing would change, right? I don't even understand. How could you have a more outdated thing that still is, you know, pushed as something important and popular? I don't know, man. All right. YOLO Dobber cheered and said, remember the scandal with Kane and Lynch 2 that happened on GameSpot? They fired one of their reviewers for giving the game a bad review, so after that, I don't trust them. Well, that was quite a long time ago. But yeah, that's exactly what happened. Kane and Lynch 2 was a piece of shit. The reviewer was honest about it, said it was a piece of shit, then the website fired him. Wow. Oh, by the way, at the time, GameSpot was covered in Kane and Lynch 2 ads. Gee, I wonder if there was any relation between the two. But that was a long time ago, and so I'm sure there's new management and everything. You can't hold people over the fire for something that happened a million years ago for too long. That would be pretty hypocritical. So I guess, you know, I just think in general these websites don't serve a purpose anymore. That's just my opinion. So. Jay Kramer cheered and said, I agree, Phil. It's like an overweight or obese person who has no self-control. Well, it's ridiculous. It's like, you know, or, you know, you don't even have to say that. You can say it's like anyone who has like a substance abuse problem, right? Like, I absolutely just need to keep doing this thing that I know benefits no one because I have no control over my body, right? I have to buy that new game release at launch day, regardless of the fact if it's good or not, so I can be part of the big hype group. I have to buy that new console. I have to buy the new iPhone. I have to have the next drink. I have to get the next high. You know, it's all the same. It's lack of gambling. I have to keep putting more money into this slot machine. I have to keep buying randomized loot boxes in this game. And I can't help myself, you know. So why do we have a whole... If we agree that things like gambling, loot boxes, and substance abuse are bad, then why do we have a whole system built that people hype games to buy them on release, rather than having a system that says, okay, don't rush and buy it on release. Let's get honest reviews out there first and then go buy it and be a responsible adult. No, instead we've got just buy. It's this culture. Buy crap to line the pockets of people who rush out crap games. You know? Really stupid. And again, I'm not, by all means, all the things that I said on this pre-stream, I'm not saying God of War is a bad game. It's the opposite. I think the game's great. But I do disagree with a whole system, this giant system in place, set up just to overhype games early, right? And keeping an elite group of people, elite group of journalists, streamers, and YouTubers as the top people in power. And by the way, hint, hint, those are still the fucking people who get the top views, too. Oh, I got an early copy of God of War, guys. Come on, check out my stream. And then they get 50,000 views. Like, what? This is the guy who thinks he's better than you, who lines his pockets with money from these fucking game publishers. You think anything he's doing is honest. But let's make him the top viewer on Twitch or on YouTube for that particular hot new release. Makes perfect sense, doesn't it? We don't want honest people playing games anymore. No. We just want to believe that everything's perfect in the fucking world. Unbelievable. I got an anonymous dollar tip. He said, what problems do you have with people saying they want to know if a game is good before it comes out? The same thing happens with movies, and you don't say anything about that. Who said I didn't say anything about that? Again, ladies and gentlemen, we do not live in the 1990s where there's no internet. There's no reason for anyone on planet Earth to get advanced access to entertainment. Everyone should get it at the same time. Everyone who's not sure, on the fence about something, should have self-control and wait. And then when the review comes out within a day or two, then you make your judgment. Period. The only reason pre-release early copies are given out are for artificial hype and paid advertisement revenue. That's it. That's the only... It's all a system made in place to line the corporations' pockets with money, and for you to rush out and buy a game early that maybe you wouldn't have bought if you didn't buy into the hype. It's that simple. But people are just too ignorant to get it. Battle Duck tipped me $1. I said 10 or something years ago, I used to have an IGN subscription to their IGN Prime or something like that, and I canceled it after I discovered a certain YouTuber. Well, I'm glad that your eyes were opened and you realized that these things don't need to exist anymore. There you go. All right, guys. I guess we're done. I guess we can now relax. It's been an hour pre-stream here. Thank you, everyone, for your support. We're now going to jump back into God of War. All right. And hope you enjoyed the 4+ hours of gameplay. We'll see how today's stream goes. It's like I said, sadly, Friday was really slow. But we'll see how things go today. Maybe gradually, hopefully, over the course of this week, things will pick up with the God of War streams. And if they do, great. If not, sadly, I may have to do an adjustment to the schedule where I cannot just constantly play God of War, and I may have to mix in other stuff. You know, even though I am honest, I'm a realist as well, and I need to pay bills. And if I can't pay bills based on a game because everyone else is playing it and doesn't want to see streams of it, or at least my streams of it, then I guess I got to do something else. So we'll see what happens, all right? All right, guys. Thank you. And I guess we'll start with God of War. All right, guys.